What's up, Fish 2? Beer Bob once again. This is another tank in the series. This is a 40-gallon breeder that sits down below my 55-gallon up top. And this one is also on the floor. And so I'm sitting down on the floor just trying to get some filming done on this. Lots and lots of Neocaridina shrimp. There's some yellows. I don't know why I was going to say yellow, but this one has got some pretty awesome colorations in it. Now this is a mix of reds, blues, yellows, and that's pretty much where all these other colors are coming from. So you can see there's one with an orange tail, there's a couple of orange Rileys in there, a couple of striped orange, there's a cool orange one right there, there's some really good quality reds, there's some greens, there's some blues, and then there's tons of wild type as well. As you can see those guys there. And there's also a bunch of Oto catfish in here. Those guys have been in here for quite a while, and they do a pretty good job at keeping the algae off the glass, you know, as well as all the snails that are in there, as you can see. And there's also, this is where I put all of the males from my blue Star Endler tank. So as soon as I notice them that they're turning into a male, I'll pull them, I'll stick them in here, because what I'm looking for in my colony over there is a complete orange stripe on the bottom part of the tail, so like a bottom sword. And you can see these guys, they have a little bit of orange. Some of them are better than others, but I'm really trying to get that trait to come out in the main breeding colony. So these guys sitting here, they have a blast. It's actually quite fun to watch them. I know I've mentioned it on videos in the past, but they basically just pace back and forth and chase each other, and they seem to leave the shrimp alone as far as I can tell. I do feed them pretty regularly. Like I said, I feed the shrimp at least once a day, sometimes twice, and these guys get fed as often as I'm home. I'll throw in little bits of food here and there all the time. So, you know, I don't think they're starving or anything. So if they're chasing and eating shrimp, it's just because either they're missing something from their diet or just for fun, and that's what I think it would be. But I've never noticed it. So same thing with the Otos. I've never seen them chasing any shrimp. These guys have been in here for, like I said, quite a while. So with all of those fish in there, I still have a billion Skittles in this tank. And this is one of the funnest tanks to sit down and watch, because you never know what you're going to find. In the tank, just like pretty much all the other ones, we've got some bronze crypts and some, let's see, I think there's Bacopa in here somewhere. Oh, maybe not. And then some Ultranthia Rhynicii cardinalis. Of course, wouldn't be a fish in, or a tank in Bob's fish room, bearded Bob's fish room, whatever, if there wasn't just tons of duckweed. And I scoop this pretty much every other day. It's crazy. It's tough to get in here with a net with these small fish, and all the shrimp like to kind of ride around on the surface too. So I don't like scooping it with a net, so I scoop it with my hands, and with your hands you really can't get all of it out. That's just what it is. There's also a nice chunk of hornwort in here. I just tossed this in from one of the other tanks, one of the 10 gallons that I was cleaning out. And in here also I did pull out some Christmas moss to sell, and in doing so I disturbed everything that was in here. So I went in and kind of mushed everything down, got all the gunk out of it, and you can see there's still a lot of it down in here. Nope, don't look at my finger, look down there. And these shrimp seem to be loving it. They're back there just kind of munching on all the detritus and stuff. It's tough to do a gravel vac in these tanks with shrimp, because you never know. I don't know, let's just pick a spot. Now, how many shrimp are in that spot right there? How about over here? There's more. You know, there's so many shrimp in here that it's just, I think it's impossible. So I'm not even gonna try. So we'll just let that detritus kind of rot, and hopefully it'll fertilize the plants a little bit, feed the shrimp, and then we'll just get it out when we can. I guess if there's some chunks, I pull out the chunks. But I don't know, that's pretty much it there. Underneath all this moss here, there's a ton of rocks, which I kind of forgot about until I was trying, oops, don't look at my finger. I was trying to mash everything down, and I was like, what is this? Yeah, there's big chunks of rocks down there. I set this up originally, and I just had a little bit of moss in the middle, and I had all these rocks kind of around it. So eventually I'm gonna have to probably pull some of those rocks out of here, and we'll just kind of mash this mat all the way down to the ground, and we'll let it start regrowing from that. Like most of my tanks on this side, I've got a hang on the back filter. Again, Marine Land Penguin. I think these are the 200s. And the reason I go with the 200s on most of these is they put out enough water flow, but the box inside is big enough to take their the cartridge that you can fill with your own stuff. So I put that pinky floss there. I cut a piece of that and shove it in there, and that helps strain out any of the stuff that gets past that sponge filter that's on the intake. And that seems to pretty much keep this tank clean. Now I think it's about time to service the filters inside. It's been about a year, I bet, since I've done that. Yeah, I don't know, about a year. And yeah, so anyways, we gotta clean that out. Clean that sponge filter about once a week again too, because the floral, wow, the flow, wow, geez, the flow will completely stop almost. It'll just be a trickle coming out there, and when that happens, it's tough to get it cleaned up. As you can see, the water's kind of cloudy, and that's what happens when there's no flow in this aquarium, and there's tons of detritus everywhere. So that's that. So let's take a peek at some of these shrimp again, because I think this is the funnest part of the video, is just watching a big pile of shrimp on top of food. So there's one pile there. There's another pile there. And another pile back there. And all of these shrimp, like I said, came out of, they were culls from the other tanks, and they just got kind of got tossed down here, and this is where they're living out their best life and reproducing quite a bit. I do sell out of these colonies once in a while, so it's kind of nice. You get a nice good mix. Look at that orange one there. I just caught the glimpse of it. And there's a blue with red on his tail. So you never quite know what you're gonna get. I have pulled out of here and started my own painted fire red tank out of it. That's the colony that I have in the back with my the blue Star Endlers. And it takes a lot of culling. They end up having quite a bit of culls out of them, but it's working out. It's only been probably a few months since I put them back there, and they're breeding almost true. I'd say 80% true at this point. Once in a while, like I said, got to call a couple out, a couple of candy stripers, a couple of yellows here and there, but we're working on it. And then same thing with my orange Neocaridina project that I have going on. We pulled some of the best oranges that I had in here. As you can see, there's another nice one right there. And we pull them out of here when they're super vibrant orange, and we add them to the mix. And I think there's one right there too. Yep. And it's helped me start a few different tanks, which is super cool. Just takes a little bit of work, but it's quite fun. I think we'll wrap up this video here, and I'll just say again, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz, and if nothing else, hope to see you on the next one. Peace.